like fake. You know those people?
Oh, who still do?
Mm-hmm.
Hey, do you know about the Central Park Five?
No.
So in 1989, in Central Park, this woman was raped and beaten to death.
Bump, bump, bump.
Come on.
Taking it down another notch. All right,
God.
let's go. All right.
And so
I'm ready for it.
there were these 5 kids who
Oh, no.
I'm pretty sure like had done nothing ever before except for be black teenagers
Okay.
in 1989. And they just like happened to be around there kind of and like were coerced by, awful police officers and like prosecutors to the point where they were like, yes, oh my God, yes, fine, I was there, I did it.
Oh, God.
Like, whatever. Because,
they're your teens.
they're teens, they're underprivileged, they want to go home. They don't understand what's happening. So they get locked away for, I want to say like 7 years or something. Maybe longer. And everyone, it's actually where the term wilding, like wildin' came from.
Really?
Yeah, they were like, these teens were wilding. It's a new fad where black teenagers go out and destroy property and your wives.
Wow.
Yeah. Not a fun origin.
And they didn't do anything.
No, they didn't do
Okay.
anything. Okay. to do
Didn't
anything.
do anything.
But DT, at the time, put out a full-page ad saying, lock them up, lock these rapists up.
Lock 'em
And
up.
to this day, even though they've been exonerated with DNA evidence that was ignored at the time, like totally, and by the person who did it, confessed, was like, I'm so sorry, I don't want to see these kids, like, locked away forever.
Wow.
I know, right? And to this day, DT is saying, no, they did it.
Wow.
Like, they absolutely raped and murdered that woman.
Wow. That's sad.
Yeah.
I just was watching some sort of like Forensic Files or something the other day.
I love falling asleep to Forensic Files.
It's so scary. Don't you have bad dreams?
Every night.
Yeah. But I was watching one and they were talking about like they were looking for a rapist or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And then they finally like found out who did it and everything. And because they found out who it was, they had somebody else who they thought did the crime locked away, and he was locked away for like 17 years, and he didn't commit the crime. And I was like, how so depressing. You're locked away, and you didn't even do anything.
And, like, if you weren't a hardened criminal,
God.
then...
Now you are.
Now you are, after 17 years of prison? Like,
And
in our
also-
prison systems? Are you kidding me? Our prison systems are not about rehabilitation. They are about punitive, like, making you feel like an animal and making you know that you're never getting out
Aren't
of
we
there.
like the most incarcerated, like, country or something?
I
Like,
can definitely
I don't
see
know
that.
if it's like I don't know what the stats are.
Someone
Listeners,
does.
write in. I could also Google it very easily, so you don't really need to write.
Write in
Write
for the
in.
next time we decide to podcast.
For the next time we decide, because I think we are. Like, we're really obsessed with them.
Putting people in prison
People in prison
forever.
But could you imagine what they did before DNA? Like, before we had the ability to... Like, people just got away with anything.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know. Did he do it? I don't know.
I love the idea of, like, 20s cops, like, walking around with their cigarettes. Like,
I see a broken bottle on the ground. I guess, is that the murder weapon?
I don't know.
There's blood somewhere?
I like thinking of them, like, putting their hands in the blood, smelling it, tasting it a little. That's blood.
Now that's blood.
There's been a murder here.
I wasn't sure before, but that is blood.
Someone give me a cigarette and some gin.
They really did, like now I feel like crime scenes are so, like, nobody touch anything. It's all closed off. And back then it's like they just had cigarettes,
But
like,
you hear
putting
about
it
that
out.
shit in, like, the 1980s.
No,
too,
I know.
And, like, the 90s.
That's when they
of, like,
came out with DNA stuff, though. I think it was the 80s or 90s that, like, really the DNA...
They started using it.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
crazy.
Nobody knows nothing.
Nobody knows anything, okay?
Nobody knows anything, okay? So stupid.
A different topic.
What's that?
I wanted to say 2 things. One was...
I'll bet you do. Here she goes.
Here we go. So the one thing was making fun of me, which is, you know how you said, I don't know if you said this on one of our episodes or not, but you were talking about how you wanted to like do a bit like making fun of me, which is basically just like me talking about how I'm on vacation all the time.
I do. I make fun of you a lot, but I like behind your back. That's the like impression I do.
I make fun of you a lot behind your back. This is a friend. This is a good friend. Yeah. So I thought of you because
it's like
you're going.
I'm so tired. I just got back from London. It was the food was shit.
No, so you want to know what's so funny? The other day, I was at work, and I was talking. It's so funny you just said the food is shit. I want to say I was actually saying that something was really good, but I think for comedic purposes, it'd be funnier if I was saying something was really bad. But I was talking about food, and my coworker was like, was that in London or New Orleans? And I was like, no, it was in New York. And then immediately I was like, oh God, I'm sorry about that.
One of those moments I had that like I'll never forget was when I was like trying to get dressed. And I was like kind of frantic. I was living with people and I was like, I don't know where any of my tuxedos are. And everyone just kind of looked at me. I was like, I heard myself. I'm sorry.
One of my really good friends, I remember, she's kind of like you, but
no one's like me, baby.
Oh my God. Straight from the horse's mouth. Is that what they say?
Straight from
out of the horse's mouth?
Out of the whore's mouth.
Whore's mouth?
To God's ears.
Jesus. So I have a friend who's kind of like, thank you, who's kind of like you. And I remember one of the times I visited her, I was visited. I went in her room and she was like frantic and pissed. And she's like, where the fuck is my pashmina? I was like, what in the fucking hell is a goddamn pashmina? I don't even...
that.
Okay, see, I knew you would know what it was. I had no idea.
There's one right behind you.
My God. You guys are made for each other.
Where's
my goddamn pashmina?
I don't know. Have you heard of Connecticut? Have you heard of Iran? I think that's where they make them.
It sounds like that.
Somewhere. I don't know.
So the second thing I was going to say is that...
How are you liking this chicken?
I love it.
Yeah, I thought you'd like this.
I love fried chicken.
Yeah.
So, I love it.
So went to Hot Yai.
Hot Yai in
Belmont, and there's one on Killingsworth as well. If
it's
you're in Portland,
delicious.
It's to die.
So it's like a full chicken that's fried, and then it comes with this like curry. Well, you got this curry with it. Mm-hmm. So I'm just like dipping the fried chicken in this curry, and it's so good.
Yeah.
So I love curry and
you got to get the roti.
Yes?
Yeah, it's just like a fried to hell bread.
It's good.
Mm-hmm.
It does make it difficult to talk because I feel like I'm shoving food in my mouth.
Hey.
I'm trying to talk.
You know what?
YOLO.
That's what I say.
So the other thing I was going to say is that I really appreciate about you.
About me?
Yeah. That I feel like you're one of the only friends that I have. Probably maybe the only friend that I have.
Period.
Okay. All right. Edit that out.
You're in the captain's chair today. You can edit
I can do whatever
I
want. No, I was going to say you're like the only friend I have who I feel like I can be more...
Who's prettier than you?
Oh, my God.
I'll let you finish.
I'm trying to say something nice about you, my God. You're going to make me stop.
No, don't stop.
Yeah. Oh, no. I want to hear it.
What are you saying?
Yeah, little brat. That you're like one of the only friends I have that I can be honest with about really stupid things that you should just be able to be honest with other people.
Yeah, I feel the same way about you.
Do you?
Yeah.
Like stupid things though, where it's like, for example, where you're like, hey, do you want to hang out? And I could just be like, I'm not really in the mood.
Yeah.
And that's it. And I feel like with anybody else, I'd be like, oh, I'm not really in the mood. And they would be like, wow.
You have to like think of some.
You have to make something up. Yeah, you have to be like, oh, sorry, I'm like busy with like blah, blah, blah. And I don't feel like I have to do that with you. I feel like I can just say like, which I really appreciate. I really value that.
You know, I value that about you as well. And it kind of blows my mind that we've known each other as long as we have, actually.
So long.
Yeah. Because it feels like I've only known you a few years.
It's been over,
over
a decade. So I wanted to plug that in. Maybe I'll edit it out since I'm the captain.
Great plug. That was a good plug for our friendship.
Just plugging that in. Splaney.
Splainy for life.
2025.
2025. Another 5 years.
Another 5 years. And then we'll see. We'll see where that goes.
About that.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to talk to you about I don't know, maybe gender.
Oh my God, don't even get me started on this.
Maybe blameless victims.
Oh fucking hell, the blameless victims.
Maybe there's a lot of offensive things that I want to talk to you about.
We have a ton of offensive things and I'm just going to piss everybody off with it.
That's fine.
What do you want to start with?
I'll start with I'll pull up the picture.
Uh-oh.
Is
it a blameless victim?
No. Okay. No. Blameless victim, we're referring to people experiencing houselessness.
I feel like there's a lot of blameless victims, actually.
Other than hobos?
Yeah, I feel like hobos are in that category, and I feel like the gender people are in that category as well.
Blameless victims.
Yeah, the blameless victims category.
I went to vegan, obviously, cafe.
Obvi.
Welcome to Portland.
Yeah. I can't even open this damn thing.
Where it was, she's referring to, she's referring to chicken, like a piece of chicken.
I can't open it.
You're doing great. Wow, you're really getting in there, huh?
I only have one hand.
Okay.
That worked.
But anyway, there's a sign, and if you're from Portland, you have probably seen this sign, but it says, "Please don't assume our gender, but feel free to ask our pronouns." And then, thank you for making this a safe and inclusive space. And then there are pictures of 7 stick figures that are compartmentalized by pink or blue, but in different, like, left female face, right male face, upper left female torso.
God, who has
bottom
time
right.
for this?
What are they even trying to say here? And why does it matter? What?
And I just saw something.
Give me a tea, sir.
Give me a tea?
At the cafe.
At the cafe. I just
give
want
me
coffee.
Give me my coffee. Give me my vegan.
Just leave me alone.
Leave me alone.
Please
don't assume that I care about your gender.
My problem, I mean, we've kind of talked about this, I'm sure, before. I got a lot of problems with all of this. But one of them is like that their argument just like crumbles immediately, and I don't think that they like recognize that.
We've been called out for generalizing before, so I want you to specify about
who they is.
Yeah.
The blameless victims. The
like social justice warriors.
Social justice warriors who like they'll in one breath be like, fuck you for misgendering me and blah blah blah, but then in the other breath they're like, gender is a construct that doesn't exist. It's like, okay, well, all right, here we go. So what do you want?
The one that upsets you that I like is
what's that?